Hello everyone, my name is Nathan, and today it's time for another episode of Stationeers. As you can clearly see, I've been playing just a tiny teensy little bit in between the episodes. I haven't done really much functional, and I'm gonna let you know about all the changes exactly. So basically, I laid out the entire floor with the steel sheets. So these are the walls, attached some steel sheets, and also we have a couple of windows. This is the system we created in the previous episode, and I decided this can actually be on the outside. I don't want to mess with gases in my pressurized base particularly. Another thing that I've done is I added another chute bin right here so that I can input my ingots very easily into the fabricator without any delays. So I had to rearrange a couple of things, including this locker, and I also decided that I want the filtration systems to be easily turned on and off. So what I did is I added this switch right here. If I activate this, you can see all of my filtration systems are actually turned on, and the same thing, I can turn them off just with this switch. Now obviously we're gonna have a look at how this exactly works. We have a little bit of logic right here. We have a logic reader right here, and we also have a batch writer. The logic reader simply gets the input from the switch gas filtration, which is this switch right here. So if it is turned on, then it's gonna give us a state of 1. And it's basically checking whether or not the switch is open or closed. So right now I can open it up and we can see the state has changed to 1. With the logic writer, we are simply getting this information from the reader gas filtration. So from this logic reader, we are getting the information. The output, of course, is the filtration right there. And what it does is it is simply turning it on. So as soon as we have state 1 here, it's going to turn on all of these guys. And if it is state 0, it's going to turn them off. So that was actually very easy, and we can simply hide it like that. It's beautiful. What else did I do? I actually also did a couple of things on the outside here. For instance, we now have an enlarged balcony, and I also separated the building where I have all my gas experiments and such. So this has become a fairly small building, and I just found some silver here. I don't know what this is doing here. So maybe before I forget about those, we're just gonna input them right away into our smelting system so that stuff can start cooking up. Oh yeah, it's already smelting. Beautiful. So what is the goal for today's episode? Obviously, I would like to start pressurizing this space, or at least get the functionality out of the way. Tank connectors, that's exactly what we need. So we're gonna craft 2 of them. I still have plenty of materials in there. I also made some more steel. As you can see, we were lacking that. And thinking about it, we're actually also gonna need an additional portable tank. And if I'm not mistaken, that was something I wasn't able to make here. So I'm gonna do that separately. Where's my tank? Oh, it's there. Still not used to the items just spewing out. Anyways, what I would like to do is set my stuff up right here in this corner. So I guess I want to take out a couple of these. Maybe this single one is gonna be enough already. I would like to have a tank connector right there, and possibly right next to this one. I might have to deconstruct a few more things than originally planned, because this cable here is definitely in the way. Well, I guess we shouldn't be too lazy. I'm just gonna take these things apart and we can easily fix them. That was actually a lot more work than I anticipated. But what you gonna do? Now we can actually do the tank connectors at the correct location. Et voila, everything is fixed. Obviously, we still have to hook up the pipes, but we can more or less get started. Maybe we already think about what we want to do. Well, the basic goal is to mix 2 gases and input them in our base, so that we can breathe without our helmet on. That would be great. And for that we need the pipe gas mixer to be able to make an exact mixture. Before I do that though, I would like to test this out with an actual tank. So I guess we're gonna take away this one. This one is at the moment empty, but just so that we get a slight idea where we can actually place stuff. So let's attach this guy. And then I would be able to add the gas mixer, for instance, here on the top. Though for that I now have them facing the wrong way, to be honest. I somehow have the feeling it's going to be worth it. I mean, we could lead one pipe up here, one is going in here. This is the output, and then we just need a cable. Yeah, it's working fantastically this way. So let me get rid of that wall as well. And then I guess we have to move these tank connectors one more time. Well, not move, but turn around. I still have 2 pipes. That is by far not enough. I thought I had way more than that. Where are my freaking pipes? Well, I guess we have to craft a couple of them. I'm gonna produce myself another 20 of those guys. Should be good for the time being, and we can already think about how we want to hook up the power. I guess we're just gonna come from this power line here. Oh, look at that, the compare module actually sticks out of the ground slightly. No, are you serious? I cannot place a pipe here because of the cable. You know what? Screw this. We're just gonna place them one more block to the left. I've had enough of these shenanigans. Okay, I've had some collisions with the airlock door actually, so I decided to put them right here, and that's where they're gonna stay now. Let me finish hooking this up so we can finally move on. Finally! Okay, check this out. We have the power hooked up from here, and all the pipes are leading to their respective locations. So this should theoretically work on. We can turn this on. Ah, great. And just like that, it looks clean again. All we have to do is hook up the output to an actual vent system. And then we also, of course, need a sensor in order to measure the actual pressure that is in the base. I still have my passive vent right here, and I think this is exactly where we're gonna start. Though that's not quite gonna add up with the power we have. So I guess the pipes will have to come from above, and we're just gonna do it like so. Et voila! Just like that, we have it hooked up. It looks pretty clean to me. Now maybe let's think about where we want to have our tanks. This is probably going to be the oxygen tank on the left, so we want to paint this white. And then the nitrate, I think I had green for that. So we will paint this green, and of course also the portable tanks will have the same colors, so we don't mix up the gases. That means oxygen right here is gonna come from here. And I think we're gonna go for something like an 80-20 mix. So we're gonna need like 80 oxygen. Now let me think, which one is input 1? That is a good question. I might actually have to check on that just to be sure. This is input 2. Oh man, in my mind it was the other way around, so I'm glad I actually checked on that. There we go, so we have input 2, which is oxygen at 80%, and then input 1, which is nitrogen at 20%. And then it's just gonna output into this vent. However, this machine here should only turn on when the pressure is actually too low in the base. If the pressure is right, then of course we don't want to waste gas or pressurize ourselves to death, if that is even possible. Okay, I'm actually kind of tempted to already test this out in today's episode. Obviously, we still have to kind of seal off our base. That's not gonna work like that, is it? So I'm gonna close my convenient way here, I guess. We just need some glass and we can close this off. And then I'm gonna need a whole bunch of walls. At the moment, we just have the single wall here, from the looks of it. We want the construction kit wall. And now let me think, we're gonna need a whole bunch. My base is pretty large. I'm not really sure it was a good idea to go for such a large room. You know, I like it spacious. That's just how it is. And I think I'm gonna go for simple iron walls. We could actually do like a glass ceiling, or maybe at least in certain areas we can have a glass roof. There we go, we got our construction kits in place, and I'm just gonna start placing down the ceiling. Or maybe I should say placing up. Oh, I actually already have a couple of steel sheets. That is great. So we can start doing the ceiling here. I think I'm just gonna do one layer of normal ceiling, and then for the inside we're gonna have a large glass roof. My steel sheets are now being crafted, and I can already finish the windows. So we're gonna have like a 3x2 roof out of windows so that we can actually see what's going on with the sun and everything. I want to know if it is daytime. And of course we want to profit from the sun's illumination. And there we go. We are actually completely sealed off. Is there a window in there? Yes. Okay. I mean, this should theoretically function. Of course, we still have to close up the airlocks here, and I still have to do something with this airlock control thing. You know, for testing purposes, I think I'm not going to save the pressurized state. We're still gonna test it out, whether or not we can pressurize the base. And I guess up here, I still need a roof at least. Et voila, we are done crafting for the time being. I think, you know, theoretically this should work out more or less. What we're gonna test out first of all is to fill this room manually by just enabling this ourselves, and after that we're gonna create a circuit that is taking care of that automatically. Now we have a couple of sensors on our suit. For instance, we can check the pressure, which at the moment external pressure is 0. And I guess we want to approach something like 100 or so. Maybe it is only 50, I'm actually not sure. And also we want to have a respectable temperature, you know. So first of all, I'm going to save the state we are in at the moment, and then I'm gonna grab one of my oxygen tanks over there. I'm kind of tempted to open this up just temporarily because we haven't pressurized anything just yet. Then I want to grab my nitrogen tank right here. I mean, at the moment it's actually not quite filled up. So before we do the whole pressurizing of the base, I definitely need to fill these guys up a bit more. Come on, stop wobbling, just get right there. And I'm gonna hook you up. Great stuff. Of course, we should also close the doors. Great! So we have the correct mixture. Let's just test this out. Something is definitely happening. You can see also the pressure is going up. It's not all the same in the room. You can see, for instance, here we have a lot more. Here we have like over 10 already. But that is pretty good. We should also take out our tablet and kind of analyze what is happening at the moment. Oh, look at that. We actually have a 79/21% mixture. I'm not sure what that is. Pressure is 26, so everything should be fine. Yeah, it's actually the same number I have on my suit sensors, but it is -10 degrees. I'm already missing the nitrogen, unfortunately. Okay, so we didn't get very far with that pressurizing thing. That is a bit of a shame, so I do have to collect a lot more oxide before we can actually do the proper test. But you could see, the system is essentially working. I consider this a successful test. If I open up my helmet, I don't think stuff is gonna be good. Let's see, open mask.
Temperature critical.
Yeah, temperature critical. What else is critical? It's actually not the oxygen. I can breathe in here, but it's the temperature. If we get the pressure a little bit higher up, we might be able to increase the temperature, or maybe we do have to add heating vents. I'm actually not sure how that's working. But yeah, I know what we're gonna do right now, and that is collect some more oxide. So once I have done that, I'm gonna be right back in this scenario, and hopefully we can do something with the whole logic and such. Alright guys, I am back. I already added one entire mining bag of oxide, so at the moment we have plenty of that stuff in here, but I want to fill it up even more. It's 13.27 megapascals at the moment, and in the comments you mentioned that I could pump this all the way up to approximately 60. In the nitrogen tank we also have over 1 megapascal, so that is not too shabby, but let's go ahead and add some more. The way I'm doing this at the moment is I'm just jumping up here and then I'm gonna swap my inventory as quickly as possible, so I don't really lose anything by doing that. You can see 50 and actually 50 went in there, so that is absolutely perfect. Now of course we are getting our pressure up quite a bit this way, but it's gonna be released very soon again. Actually I could do that already now because my filtration system is already on. And if we observe this, now we are actually adding the nitrogen I was missing from before. So yeah, I guess it can't hurt to actually add all of my ores I currently got. Alright, there we go. Let's just wait until this goes back to 0 pressure and then I can close the valve. How much do we have? 14 here and we have 3 megapascals. So that is a lot more than with our first attempt. Should be enough to fill up the room. Oh, holy cow. What happened here? What happened to my pipe? Oh my gosh. Stop that. Stop that immediately. Oh, no. Let's see. Can I remove that? I want to re-add that. Is that pipe lost now? Jesus. So it seems as though that was actually too much pressure for the pipe itself. Interesting. Are we still losing pressure? We are still losing pressure. How could this be? Maybe let's actually take apart the tank like that. And now we are not losing it anymore. Okay. Ugh, man. Such a bummer. But if we actually look at the tank, we can see that this pressure thingy-majingy is all the way in the red. So yeah, maybe I exaggerated a little bit and we're just gonna go to 10 megapascals the next time. But I did make a save game just before that. And I'm actually gonna make use of it. But first I really want to test if we have enough stuff. Alright, here we go. Test number 2. Let's close the door, make sure that we take some glass and fill this up. Our room should be sealed off right now, so let's enable the gas mixer and we're just gonna see what happens. Of course, I should take my trusty tablet in order to be able to observe this. Okay, we are already above 30 kilopascals. I'm gonna go up to 50 and see if that is actually enough pressure, because that's the pressure I have in my suit, so theoretically it should be enough without the suit, right? Alright, we are at 50 kilopascals at the moment. I'm gonna disable the gas mixer. And the pressure, of course, is going down slightly because it has to kind of distribute itself in the room, right? So maybe we enable it just a tiny little bit more. Okay, we stopped at 45 kilopascals and we are not losing pressure. Now it's actually evenly distributed at the moment. I want to go all the way up to 50 just to be sure. Though I wonder, why is the temperature so low? I feel this is kind of bad. But yeah, here we go. We are at 49 kilopascals, evenly distributed in the room. That is more than enough for me in order to try take off my helmet. Open mask.
Temperature critical.
Yeah, temperature. But it's only the temperature. It's not pressure or oxygen, right? So the only thing we have to fix is the freaking temperature, it seems. And of course, now I have a little bit of CO2 in the mix because I was breathing the air we created. Right, so now I'm gonna reload my save game before the pipe actually exploded and I wasted all that oxide. And we're going to install a mechanism that is gonna take care of this issue automatically. Let's see. We're gonna need a couple of logic things and also a sensor. I wonder, kit, sensor maybe? There we go. Construction kit sensors. We're gonna need one of you, please. We're gonna need some logic. We want to read the sensor, of course, and we also want to write to the gas mixer. So we're gonna need at least 2 logic IOs. Then we also want to compare the sensor to the number that we decide it's gonna be, like 50 or maybe 100. Maybe 100 is gonna make it warmer. I actually don't know how that works. We're probably gonna need a heating system. Anyways, we need a processor to do that. With the processor, we want to compare a number, so we are gonna need another memory as well. And that's basically it. Right, let's see. Sensor kit. Can we swap that? Yeah, gas sensor. That is exactly what we need. Doesn't look like we can set up the sensor on this wall, so I guess it's going to have to be this one. That is absolutely fine. I'm just gonna swap it around so it's easy to hook this up. Gonna need a normal junction right there, and the sensor should be alright. Yeah, that is actually good, though I want to rename this sensor. Actually, gas sensor isn't too bad. That's a really strong name. Now, where do we have the space for a little bit of logic? This is gonna be too cramped here. Maybe we're gonna use this wall here. Let me see my modules. Logic input and output, we're gonna take that, and we're also gonna take the processor. Oh no! I just saw that there is another thing I will not be able to hook up. I really wish I was able to do it here, but I think I'm actually gonna change the location. And there we go. I think I hooked everything up. This is a much better place to set this up. We have our logic reader, we have the logic writer, we have a memory and the compare unit. So let's go ahead and start naming these things. This is reader gas, we have writer gas, we have memory gas, and we have the compare gas. Okay, first of all, we want to know how much the gas pressure is. So that's what we are gonna read from. Gas sensor, perfect. What is the variable gonna be? Oh, there's actually a few things we can check. We can check for certain gases even. But what we want is the pressure, so we know how much gas we released through the gas mixer. So now we will get a number on this as soon as we have a little bit of pressure, but at the moment, of course, the pressure is 0, so the state is also 0. Anyways, what we want to do is we want to make a comparison, and I want to bring this memory number up to 50 or so. I still have to read up on what pressure I actually have to use for the outside of the suit scenario, but I'm sure some of you actually also know. Good, we have the memory comparison. What we want to do is take the number we got from the logic reader, so reader gas, and what we want to do is we want to have it less than or bigger than, let me see. It should be less than the number we have here, right? So reader gas should be less than our memory gas. That is absolutely perfect. And then, of course, we want to output that through the logic writer. So we're gonna take whatever we have saved in here. If it is a number 1, then the gas mixer should be on, and if it is a 0, it should be off. So let's find compare gas. The list is actually already quite extensive, so it's agonizing to cycle through everything. But we got it. Compare gas, and the output is obviously going to be our gas mixer. Gas mixer, there we go. And what we want to do with the gas mixer is we want to turn it on. So as soon as this logic reader reads a bigger number than 50, it should stop. Now we could actually already test that since we don't have any tanks attached. I'm just gonna enable all of these modules, and you can see the gas mixer actually turned on. That is actually quite a beautiful and easy process, I have to say. Now, as I said before, we're not yet going to do this with our station. I first need to finish the airlock, so that's probably what we're gonna do in the next episode. But after that, we should have a pressurized base forever. Now, one thing, of course, we're still gonna test is if that actually works here. Now, I'm gonna lower the memory number just a tiny little bit, so we don't have to wait very long. So let's set this up to about 20 kilopascals. Should be good, and I guess we can test it out, though I'm gonna save this again. So now one thing I wonder about is, can I manually shut down the system? Because at the moment it activated and I really didn't want that. Maybe I'm just gonna shut it down and then we're gonna disable the logic reader only. So maybe I'm gonna need a switch to actually disable that and put it into manual mode. But let's go ahead and pick up our 2 portable tanks. I'm gonna set this up. There we go. The room is sealed off. Both of my tanks are installed. Let's enable the logic reader and see what happens. It should enable, well, actually maybe not. Maybe I have to disable this and enable it again. That's not how you are supposed to be working. Yeah, maybe it's because I shut it down manually. All we have to test is if we reach the threshold here of 20 kilopascals, if it's going to stop. That is the only thing I want to see. So actually maybe we check on that with our tablet. We are at 5 kilopascals at the moment. Look at that. Okay. It actually stops. Look at that. It actually works. It's stopping now because every time we reach 20 kilopascals here, we are turning it off again. So it's just gonna do that until the entire room is filled with 20 kilopascals. So that is enough proof for me that the system is going to work. I'm just gonna wait it out a little bit, see when it is fully stopped if we have a stable pressure here. And then don't forget to let me know in the comments section how much pressure is actually necessary for a room such as this. Alright guys, so check this out. We are at 20 kilopascals external pressure. Isn't that just freaking amazing? I mean, it's still doing kind of a few things here, but generally it's now stable, it turned off, and we can finally do what we came here for, and that is breathing on the moon without a freaking mask. I like that idea very much, and also obviously it is very clean. Oh, though that is the wrong direction. There we go. We want to have it like that, put that on there, and everything is hidden. I just love that about the game. Very nice to look at, I have to say. Now, the temperature is the only problem at the moment. I still have to fix the temperature issues, but we're pretty much good otherwise. Great, so with that out of the way, I would say we're going to wrap it up for today. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And I hope you're gonna tune in the next time. Have a great time, and hopefully I'm gonna catch you soon. Bye bye.